Hi and welcome to Transit TV on Reggie's Football Show. We're happy to have you back today joining us to look at the game between Real Madrid and Manchester City played at Etihad, which was the second leg of the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League for this season. It always promised to be a tasty, incredible and huge game that was played today, and it lived up to that expectation. This was a game between two teams managed by two top coaches in the presence of Pep Guardiola for Manchester City, who has been there for 7 seasons now, and we all know that he has managed to win so many trophies with the City, including 4 out of the last 5 EPL titles. And Ancelotti has been doing exactly the same thing too with Real Madrid, and we all know obviously that they won this competition last season in a very dramatic fashion. Before we go into this one, we'll ask you to please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification button so that you don't miss any content that we drop on this channel. Like and share this content with your contacts, your friends, your family, your business associates, and anybody that you know that love this game. We're going to look at how this game panned out, how the teams were set up, the structure, the key players that determined the result in the game today, what led to, or what issues that we were able to find out in Real Madrid approach to this game that probably led to their demise in the competition. We are also going to look at the players, singularly the players that we know the performance in this game were very, very key for the success that City recorded today. I will also want to look at what Pep Guardiola has adjusted or tweaked in the way he sets up his team, or the way his teams approach games that has seen us see them since February this year almost not lose any game. They have won almost 15 games in the EPL and have not lost any game in the Champions League since the turn of this year. So I'm going to bring those points out to you. I've looked at the team. I've been able to identify what tweak or what Pep Guardiola has done that has given him the cutting edge that we have seen in the success that his team has recorded this season. So you sit back and watch and listen to this one. You also get busy in the comment section. If you agree with what I have said in this one, yes, I would love to hear from you. If you have contrary opinions to the topics or to the segments of the game that is being discussed today, I would also love to hear it. If you also have topics or games that you want us to look into, that would also be nice. And don't forget that we are going to have a fan fiesta coming up after the finals of the UEFA League this season, where we're going to have fans of all the major clubs in Europe come together to pick their team of the season, the player of the season, the manager of the season, goal of the season, and discuss what their teams did right this season, and discuss who had good, better, or bad seasons amongst the top teams in Europe, in the top league, especially in EPL. So look out for that one, and contact us as well if you want to be part of that one. Very soon we'll be sending out notification and a banner to that effect to keep you posted on the plans for that event. Thank you for watching, and let's go into this one, starting from how these teams were set up for this game. Looking at the setup of both teams going into this match, I will start from Real Madrid. We always know that they are a team that plays on a counter and uses transition, efficiency in transition to hurt teams. But in this one, they even went deeper to sit very much deeper to their box and to their post, trying to hit Manchester City on a counter. In this game, they sat almost 11 players of the team behind the ball, and this gave Manchester City a cruise control of the game, especially in the first 20 minutes of the game. Manchester City almost had 100% possession in this game. The game was played completely in Real Madrid's half, and this was for me, a very big mistake by Ancelotti. And what was more disturbing about it is, for me, teams that play parking the bus as an approach to a game stay compact. There are usually no gaps between the players. But in this game, Real Madrid parked the bus, but there was no cohesion. You could see a lot of gaps between the defense and the midfield and the defenders. And this provided, when you give such space to players like Kevin De Bruyne, Silva, Gundogan, Jack Grealish, and Haaland, they hurt you with it. They use it against you. And for me, that was very, very key against Real Madrid today. The team did not stay compact. Again, there was also a problem. Last game, I singled out Camavinga, that young man, as for me, the best performer in that tie. But in this game, he proved to be a problem for Real Madrid. Why do I say that? Because in the first game, he had the license to move forward, to drive into the midfield and impact Real Madrid's play. Apparently, Pep Guardiola studied that and worked out a way to use that against Real Madrid. Now, don't forget that in the first game, Modric was covering when Camavinga does those moves. But in this game, I don't know if it's fitness, I don't know if it's tiredness, Modric could not provide that cover. And if you remember very well, that was where the first goal came from. When Camavinga pressed into the midfield and left gaps behind him. Kevin De Bruyne, Silva, and Gundogan used those spaces and created the first goal. So the setup of Real Madrid, for me, was the first mistake. The way the team was structured, the way the team was set up, made it very easy for a team like Manchester City to play through them. Made it very easy for a team coached by Guardiola, who we know thrive on possession, who we know are masters of using our spaces. So this setup by Real Madrid today made it look very easy for Manchester City, and they made very good use of it. On City's side, in the first game, they looked apprehensive. They looked like people who were unsure if they should attack Real Madrid or not. But in coming into this game, from minute one, it was very obvious that they had attacking intentions, that they were ready to go to war, that this is a team that have come to score goals. The approach in the game was aggression. The approach in the game was make use of the spaces, and that they did to the letter. Another thing I'm going to look at in this one is, going on both sides, what tweak do I think Guardiola has made in the way he approaches games or he plays this season? And what tweak do I think Ancelotti did not make, which probably has affected his team this season? Starting with Real Madrid, you can see that in the league, they struggled all season. And already Barcelona has won the league in Spain. So that tells you there is something wrong going on with the team. And I will equate that to the age and energy, especially in the midfield. Modric is 36 years, 36 years. Kroos about 34 years. Karim Benzema is 35. These men are the spine of Real Madrid. And the way the game is, the modern game is played, a lot of energy is exerted. So right now, I don't think Real Madrid has the engine, especially in the midfield, to cope with the pace, the way games are being played. You can see about 20 minutes to the end of this game, Ancelotti made some changes and brought some young players. And I was asking myself, why didn't he mix this up in the beginning? You could see that Kroos, Benzema, and Modric could not cope with the energy that Man City brought into the game. So it was a very difficult problem for them to handle, and this showed all through the game. But in the case of Man City, for the beginning of the season till February this year, they were kind of hit and miss. The standards that Pep Guardiola teams set for themselves were not being met. They were losing games, conceding goals, and drawing games. But I think people always keep asking, what changed for Man City? And I have analyzed them and I looked at it and I've come up with this opinion that the moment Guardiola started playing 4 center backs in his defense line, things changed for the team. And I believe the reason why he did this was because Kevin De Bruyne is a midfielder that used to work very hard. But as he gets older and as he exerts more energy due to the way City plays, his energy level is going down. The same thing with Gundogan. Gundogan is 32 years this season. So he's not going to have the same energy he had 3, 4, 5 years ago. The same thing with Silva. So what Guardiola did was to secure his back line and play 4 center backs. So this released his front players, the attacking midfielders and the attackers, and gave them the license to stay up top, knowing that the back line is secured. So this has, for me, has been a secret, the secret of the spark we saw in City this season, since after the World Cup, because what this has done is to put the teams under a lot of pressure. Before now, we used to see the Guardiola right back and full backs maraud forward, attack full backs of opponent team. But since this year, you hardly see, in a game of 90 minutes, you hardly see Kyle Walker or the right back, push forward, or the left back. Especially in the left back position. Today he played Akonji. He used to play Ake there. These are not players that push forward. The only player in the defense line that's given license to go forward is John Stones, who plays in the center back position. And when he does this, he gives you three other center backs behind him. And this is enough security. So being the genius that he is, this is another invention or another trick that Guardiola has done to the modern game. By playing 4 center backs at the back, this gives you a very, very natural defensive base, natural security base, with a world-class keeper behind them to secure the back and give people like Kevin De Bruyne the license to go forward and hurt teams. This was very, very evident in the game that was played today. You could see that Gundogan was picking up very dangerous positions behind Real Madrid midfielders. Kevin De Bruyne did the same. At the time, sometimes Kevin De Bruyne and Silva created overload against Camavinga. Camavinga, good player that he is, good player that I love, really, really, really good. But today, he showed signs of inexperience. Because they'll tell you in football, every player has a primary role. If you are a defender, you should be able to defend. So today, Camavinga tried to do more than he is supposed to be doing, and he affected his team drastically. So today, I will blame Ancelotti on the setup of the team and changes that he needed to do that he did not make on time. This hurt the team and affected the result of the team. In football, there's another saying that big players show up in big games and in big moments. That also was very, very evident today. And I'm going to single out Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, Silva, and in a special way, Jack Grealish and Haaland. These players today showed why they are referred to as big players. I'll start with KDB. His ability to release passes at a very quick pace, at a time when opponents' defense or players are displaced, before they settle down, the way the pace at which he releases his passes unsettles teams, and that he did very, very effectively today. Another player is Gundogan. That guy is so smart in positioning. The positions that he picks up in the pitch is incredible. I don't think these things are coached, because if they are coached, I'm sure City will have a lot of players that will do that. That guy today caused a lot of problems for Real Madrid, even without having the ball. The defense line of Real Madrid, we are always unsure whether to go or to stay in their position. And when the defender has this is double-minded, obviously it results into negative impact on their team. The same I can say about Silva. He scored 2 goals. I'm not going to talk about the goals that he scored, but the actual performance on the team today, I also include him in that list. Jack Grealish is a player that we always know his talent, but sometimes he gets himself involved in other things outside football, with the crowd, with officials and opponents. But today, he could see he was really, really focused in the game. He played very well defensively, and he gave a lot of problem to Real Madrid. The same with Haaland. A couple of months ago, Pep Guardiola was asked in an interview, and he said something interesting about Haaland. He said he never wants a striker that is going to just stand in the box and score goals. And he wants a striker that will impact play, that come and impact play. And today is one of the best games I have seen Haaland play, where he is engaged and switched on with transition and building of play. Then lastly, one person that I will give huge credit to today was Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker played like a lion. He played like somebody that was on mission. He played like somebody that had given himself a goal and a target. And that target was to stop Vinicius Jr. And he did this not just because of his pace, but because of how intelligently he positioned himself in times of counter-attack by Real Madrid. Kyle Walker managed to always give himself 2 steps or 2 yards ahead of Vinicius, and it made it very, very impossible for Vinicius to get something out of this game today. And at the end of the day, of course, we know what the result was, because when Vinicius Jr. cannot counter, cannot translate, cannot make play, it's always difficult for Real Madrid to get goals. So, having said that, I'm going to give Pep Guardiola massive, very huge praise, because in the last 2 seasons, we have seen how Manchester City were dumped out of this competition because of Guardiola's stubbornness in insisting on how he normally plays both at home and away. But this season, you can see that Guardiola has learned from his past mistakes and adopted an approach that has helped his team stay secured and also find ways to hurt teams. People tend to put the credit on because they signed Haaland. That's why the team is doing this good, blowing away teams. No. I believe that Pep Guardiola has tweaked the way his teams play. 1, by playing a back line of 4 centre-backs. 2, by keeping Kevin De Bruyne fresh on the pitch throughout the duration that he'll be on the pitch, by not demanding a lot of defensive duties from him. So we keep him fresh to hurt teams going forward. Secondly, and lastly, he has also been able to respect teams and get his players switched on, get his players to respect teams, that teams can as well hurt you. And this makes them stay alert in defensive situations. And today, these few things were very, very obvious in the way mancity approached this game, and we'll see what the result is. Nobody could have thought that mancity, everybody of course saw City as favourite going into this one, but nobody would have thought that City will blow away Real Madrid the way they did today, winning them 4-0, amounting to 5-1 aggregate at the end of the tie over 2 legs. So today, that's how we saw the game, and we are looking forward to the finals between Manchester City and Inter Milan on June 11th. That game, of course, looks to be a very interesting one, because Inter Milan, we know When we talk about parking the bus, these are the masters. These are an Italian team. They don't worry about style. They don't worry about possession. They are a very stubborn team to play against. And I believe, contrary to most opinion, it's going to be a very tough game for Man City, depending on the shape and the mood they will be on that day. So thank you for watching. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification button, like our content, and share with your contacts on our road to our first 1,000 subscribers. Good to have you on the show today. It's your man Reggie, and I will look forward to seeing you again. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.